Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and the Black Widow, issue number 6. This issue is called The Widows, part 1 of 1. I'm going to explain all that good stuff in a hot minute and why it's not really, but it doesn't matter. It's still pretty good. I enjoyed this immensely, and that is actually saying a lot, but I'm going to continue. Kelly Thompson is the writer, Rafael De La Torre on guest art, Jordi Belair doing the colors, VC's Corey Petit on letters, and Adam Hughes on cover art. A whole bunch of people doing variant covers. We're going to move on from there. We start off with Black Widow fighting against some giants. Not really giants. More like, think of the fake version of the super soldier serum that they were using for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It really just makes you stronger. It doesn't necessarily increase your bone density. It doesn't do this. It doesn't do that. All it is just makes you a little stronger. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. So Black Widow has to deal with these people, but Black Widow isn't necessarily a superhero. Oh, she's super duper. And she's definitely a hero. She's arguably a hero. But the trick is that the fake version of the super soldier serum attempt that she got in the Red Room, it's like nowhere near what Captain America has, you know? So fighting against these guys is troublesome. It's not the easiest thing in the world. And that's one of the things I like about an almost regular character like the Black Widow. It's not all just laser blasts and punches in the face at hypersonic speed. Sometimes it's just really cool moves and knowing what you're doing and massive amounts of experience. That's the stuff that should pay off, and that's the stuff that does give her an advantage against these guys who took a shortcut and souped themselves up and thought, "Oh, me crush." No, you're dumb. That's what it is. I like that. It's not very realistic, but it's a comic book. I'm gonna let that slide. She comes across this girl who's trying to pick her pocket. And right away, I had a feeling where this was going to go. And I think I'm right, but I'm not upset. I'm not upset that, it felt so obvious. It's the obvious choice. I, I love that even our speculations, like White Widow is right there, Yelena, she's right there to argue, hey man, listen, we got to start our own thing and recruit her. She's like, no, we're not doing our own Red Room. No, we wouldn't use our own Red Room. We'd make our own non-red room, like the off-red room, pink, mauve, fuchsia. I don't know if any of those are red related, but anyway, magenta. Did I say magenta? That's like Blue's Clues, Blue's friend, the guy. Anyway, whatever. I'm digging on this. I'm digging the idea of this. This girl that she meets up with, Widow is extremely patient, and a lot of it might just be a mostly girl thing. Because I'll tell you what, right now, I come across a young guy, girl, whatever, who's talking to me like that when it's like, dude, I got you cold busted. I'm not having a pleasant conversation with you, and maybe it's the wrong way to go. I'm sure it's the wrong way to go, but I'm still not having a pleasant conversation with you. I'm calling you a jackass, and if you keep acting up, you might get slugged. And Black Widow is just like, it's cool. You're right. No, it's cool. Whatever. You can say what you want. I'm like, man, you are just way, way too patient with this nonsense. But if it pays off, then she's right. I'm wrong. I'm okay with that. We get, the old trope of here's a level, you got to beat the mini boss on this level. Then you advance to the next level, mini boss, next level. Anybody old enough to have played that original Kung Fu game for the regular NES? I loved that stupid game. And you eventually get to the point, and you could cheat, you could jump kick your way the whole way through it. That's okay, I don't mind. The little pink humanoids that would come and you have to fight all the time. I loved that game. I loved that game. I would love to be able to play that game right now. That was a freaking awesome game. Anyway, here's Black Widow. She sees this building because she's going to go and track this girl down. She knows this is also where the main bad guy is who was messing with her. Seems a little convenient. That's okay. This is a one-shot inside of a series that's going to lead to something else. She sees this. She's like, yeah, I'm not going to go in here and fight this mini boss thing. I'm just going to skip it. Well, the mini bosses start coming out to her. She's like, okay, That's not cool. Fortunately, the henchman didn't come out also. Maybe they just didn't feel like drawing it. Don't know, don't care. But she's like, bypassing, grappling hook. She should have also done a smoke bomb. Just be like, smoke bomb. She goes, she bypasses it. She still has to deal with a couple of these guys. It's a simple little thing. But we still get a final boss fight. And it's a lot more than just this, but oh, this page. This page was magnificent glory. And this image right here spoke to me. She's throwing some knives there, commenting about how swords are sometimes clunky. Oh, that was good. Oh, that was so good. I need to show you what the next issue, the next cover is going to look like. Oh, that is just awesome. Guys, I am digging on this. Let me explain. I am not an overly huge fan of the Black Widow. I'm just not. It's just, I remember reading her back when she was the very first female who had her name on the title of a comic book. She shared it with Daredevil for like 20 issues or so, I remember, I've read a bunch of her stuff when she was just a joke character, like a spy, and then all of a sudden she wound up becoming so much more. The costume changes, everything, the different versions of her. I've read a lot of Black Widow, and I've always just been like, whatever, whatever. It's a comic book, it's a character, whatever. But I still read the Black Widow comic books here because they're fantastic. And yeah, most of that, 80% of that, has to do with Kelly Thompson. I love the art in this issue, like I've already mentioned, especially that page, especially that image on that page. My God, fantastic and amazing. And not just the guest artists, but all the artists that are like really good artists. Kelly gets really lucky, or she just commands that kind of pull where she can be like, you will give me a top tier artist or I will crush you. You know? But every time that I see Kelly's going to put together a book, I got to grab it. I got to see if it's going to be any good. And even if I go with low expectations, immediately I'm rewarded afterwards. It's like trying to eat something that looks like broccoli and realizing that it's a honey bun and it just tastes so good and decadent and yay. So I'm really enjoying this Black Widow series. I still have in the back of my mind, you could skip this book. You could skip this book. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. But after I read the book, I'm like, you are so lucky you did not skip that book. For a week that did not have a whole lot of comics, for a week that didn't have a whole lot of really good comics, this I'm going to call this the sleeper hit of the week. Because even though I damn well should have known better, it's still one of those books that I go into and I think, I just hope that this is okay. And my expectations are dashed and replaced with something so much better. Anyway, guys, I don't know what other praise I can give to this book. It's fantastic, and you guys should definitely be reading them. Go check out the thing before also, because it's heartbreaking. The 5 issues prior to this, absolutely heartbreaking, and everything that happens from this point on, you have to keep that in mind. What had happened, what had come before. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Like the video, watch an ad. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.